Adding a HMI to a project is done in the same way that we added PLCs to a project. So add new device, only this time we're clicking HMI and picking our panel from here. For example, if we come to Simatic Unified Comfort Panel, we'll choose a 10-inch display model. And then in here, we can click the HMI that we want, set our version number. I'll leave it as version 20, and for now we'll leave the name as HMI 1. This will go ahead and add our HMI to the project. It will also check your license to make sure you have the appropriate license for the type of HMI that you're trying to use. And then once it's configured, it will be added into the project tree. Once it's been added into the project tree, it will just appear on the left-hand side. We don't get the same security wizard that we get with adding a CPU because HMIs don't have the same type of security that CPUs have. So if I have a look at the properties for all the device configuration for this HMI, just right click here and go to properties. We have a similar window to what we saw with the CPU properties. So general here, Profinet, information and resource monitor. These two are slightly different, and we have two interfaces with this HMI, not the one that we had with the CPU. But generally, inside these is the same sort of setup. You should be getting familiar with how TIA Portal lays out this sort of stuff by now. So we can fill in some information here. The important one is the Ethernet addresses that you want to assign your HMI to. HMIs are almost useless on their own without being networked to a CPU or some asset that they're displaying information for and parameterizing and things like that. So we would want to connect this to our subnet. So in a previous lesson, we had a basic look at networks where we linked stuff by drawing things together. You can also link them onto the same subnet by selecting a subnet if one exists in the properties here. And then if I click OK and come into the devices and networks view, we should see that there's already a line between our PLC and our HMI. Now remember, that just puts it in the subnet. It doesn't necessarily create a communication link between the PLC and HMI. If I come to connections and HMI connection, I can then create a HMI connection between the PLC and the HMI. And now the HMI knows that there will be data exchanged between the two, which of course we will go through later on in the course. But that's really it for just adding in the HMI hardware into your project and a little bit of parameterization and connecting to the PLC.